Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and we're here at the brand new Moxie Williamsburg. I'm here with Mike Hoover, who's the general manager of this property, and this is now, I believe, the fifth Moxie in the New York area, but the very first in Brooklyn. And if you can hear in the background, you hear the subways, the L train. Now, I will tell you right now, you don't hear it in the rooms. That's great. But we're going to talk about this wonderful new hotel. Got a lot of great features, a lot of great bars, and a wonderful restaurant, and some cool rooms. And obviously, we're in a very cool space right now we're going to talk about. And you're going to hear about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Mike, first of all, thanks for hosting us here. A wonderful time last night. Tried to do all the things. You got so many things to do in this hotel.
There's a lot to do in this hotel, James. Anything from our beautiful rooms to our very dynamic lobby to the 3 different food and beverage outlets. So yeah, you can make a whole day out of it.
Let's talk about first where we are, Williamsburg, and you live not too far away. But for me, I got a whole lot of different images of Williamsburg. Although I do know now it's a very trendy community now. Right. It didn't used to be. Right. But what is Williamsburg, and what should guests expect when they come here?
Well, Williamsburg is one of those dynamic, creative places that you can find in New York or in the entire country. The amount of creativity of the residents here and how that they enjoy their time and their free time is really what we're trying to mirror in this property. So, be it from music to art to easy commutes in and out of Manhattan.
Right. That's not too far away. I mean, the bridge is right there. You can go right across. One subway stop, and I came here. It was very easy. That's the subways, and it's not too far if you're taking a car, and it's actually a little closer to the airport, but we won't say that.
Yeah, to both airports, actually. Yeah, very
LaGuardia, too. LaGuardia and JFK. But so here it is. It's a trendy community. Mm-hmm. There are an incredible lot of places to eat. You got incredible new place. Right. We're going to talk about that. And so it's kind of fun if you want to just get off Manhattan, but want to stay in this cool new neighborhood that's not that far from, really, we have right across the street is Midtown Manhattan and also Wall Street.
That's right. And then within Williamsburg itself, it's a very walkable community. And for me, as a resident of the neighborhood, I'm amazed. Every single day that I walk in and out of work, I find new places to explore, sure. New shops, new restaurants, new bars. So it's a community that's always changing. And always, I would say, pushing the envelope a little bit.
And that's the reputation it's had for a few years. And now you're here. One of the few properties. There's a couple others, but you are the brand new property, and you're really the first in this part of Williamsburg, right near the Williamsburg Bridge, right?
Right. So most of the hotel properties that are in Williamsburg and North Williamsburg, we're the first one on the South Williamsburg side. For us, we love that because you do have some public transportation options, but it's really introducing a new side of this neighborhood to the public as well, where, our restaurants down here are incredibly dynamic and interesting and are interesting to explore, while at the same time, we've been able to bring this hotel to the community as well, right. Where we've been so pleased that the South Williamsburg residents have been able to utilize our hotel for a co-working space and for our new places to eat and drink and become that community center, really the living room of the community in South Williamsburg as well.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some of the things that you offer them. Let's talk about the rooms, the accommodations. I think you said you had 216 keys?
216 rooms. Moxies, we really specialize in compact, well thought out rooms. So our rooms are under 200 square feet, and every single inch of our rooms has been well thought out to make them incredibly functional and beautiful. Anything from floor to ceiling windows to beautiful tiled showers, specialized sinks made out of a lava stone that we source from the French Alps. It's a really fun room to stay in where it creates a launching pad for the rest of your New York experience.
No, and it's great. The beds are fantastic. Yep. TV is fantastic. Not a lot of room around the bed, although I think I got one of the larger rooms, thank you, because and there's a small desk, which I was spending some time in yesterday. And yes, the sink is in the room, but kind of off to the side. And the shower is really big. And so you really have all you need here. And I found that out about the Moxies when you first launched the Moxie Times Square. And if I hadn't stayed in the room, I would have said, no, that's too small. small, but once you get in it, you realize it works, right?
Yeah, so this is our 5th Moxie we've developed in New York. And with each one, the first one being Times Square, we figure out a little bit more. We get feedback from our guests as far as things they would like to see, and we create design features to enhance them with every single hotel. So with this one of our big developments was we were able to put in a little closet space to the rooms, which we had in the previous Moxies. Right. So just little elements like that. What I really love about our guests staying at a Moxie is it gives them a little bit of a taste what it feels like to live in New York, where you have spaces maybe a little bit smaller than you're used to.
That's true.
But everything's incredibly well thought out, extremely functional, and then you feel dynamic to go out there and explore the city. And that's what it feels like to live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, although I got to tell you, when I lived in New York a few years ago, I didn't think my space was too well thought out. It was cramped and guarded, but I just tried to stay out. You know, you're out in the city.
That's right.
You're enjoying it, except when it's winter, but that's another story. And I lived on the Upper West Side. I've lived on the, so I do know New York, but this is really it's cool, it's modern, it's hip, and it really works. Now let's talk about, because when you're not in your room, which you shouldn't be, you should be out there, there are several different places that you can go. Let's talk about this one right now. This is your rooftop bar, and what's it called?
This is Lily Star. Okay. So beautiful rooftop bar we have here. What I love about Lily Star is that you really feel like you're in South Williamsburg. We have a panoramic view that stretches all the way from Midtown down to the financial district, but you hear the 7 train and the M train behind me, the Williamsburg Bridge, so you know where you are. Our theme for this was an Indo-Australian theme, so we have a lot of really fun cocktails that are colorful and they're fun to drink. Have Balinese barbecue as our cuisine up here. And we're open 7 days a week, open up on noon on the weekends. So you really create a brunch atmosphere that goes, and the party goes all day, and then 4 to midnight during the weekdays.
No, and it was great. We were up here, and I didn't realize we didn't try the food. We did try the guacamole, but
you tried the guac.
The guac and a wonderful one of your suggested drinks, and it was really good. And you can hear, as you can see, I don't know, you guys can hear the sound of the subway. This is New York, right?
That's right.
You're right in the center, and these incredible views. Which everyone has a rooftop bar in New York, but this one is really special.
Right, and about half of our space is indoors at this rooftop bar, so it's something that would be a great spot to visit 12 months of the year. And did you see sunset up here last night?
I did. It was beautiful.
Unbelievable, right?
It was amazing, and we actually, it was a little cold last night. Cool. A lot of people were braving the elements out here, but we were inside, and it was like incredible bar, big bar, and a lot of great service, a lot of fun to do, and it really is open to the community. You have a separate entrance that the community can come in and enjoy it, right?
Right. So I mean, when we're talking South Williamsburg, this is the first expansive rooftop in the neighborhood. Right. So we've seen the community really embrace it. Where obviously our hotel guests are fired up and excited to visit Lily Star, but then we see that mix of the community and our guests and interacting. So we'll see our guests talking with somebody that lives in the community, say, hey, where should we go next? And obviously our restaurant would be the best spot, but there's a lot of spots around here for them to go explore. So having those insider secrets that now the community is providing our guests when they interact in spaces like this is super important to the Moxie experience.
No, it's great, and it's a wonderful place. Now, let's move to the next place you should, because you can hang out during this all day long. It's your Bedford Bar and Lounge downstairs, and it's got an incredible bar. It really is, and we'll talk about that. But talk about how it changes during the day, and also is opens to the street too.
Yeah. So Bar Bedford, lobby space that we have on the first floor, we have nano walls, so a wall of windows that will open on beautiful days like today. We'll open them up around 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And it creates this indoor-outdoor space. And once again, like on this rooftop, all of a sudden you're in this beautiful space that you can co-work, you can have. We have an all-day menu with great food.
I was working there when you were just like that. I was right there. I was right down and talking, because you don't want to stay in your room. You work. I mean, a couple of people were having meetings. Somebody was having a meeting about how they were going to fire somebody. It was like really exciting stuff, and I'm listening to it on the side. But that's, you do have, it's a co-working space. And then there's some other, and the bar is really truly amazing. Talk about the backdrop of the bar, because you have a moving bar that goes. What is that?
So. That is an ode to the automats of New York Pass. So old deli, diner type location where your meal choices would be on these conveyor belts. Right. Then when if you sell the egg salad sandwich you want, you would press the button and it's up. So once again, thinking about Williamsburg and the industrial and the blue collar background it had, we want to pay ode to that. So our entire back bar are these huge risers that are about 30 feet tall. And We have, I believe, 8 of them. And every hour on the hour, they'll move and create a really cool visual experience. But also, now that the windows are open and you can hear the Williamsburg Bridge and the street traffic, it also blends in with the neighborhood as well, acoustically. So you really feel that sense of place that not only am I in New York, but I'm in Williamsburg.
Yeah, and I'm glad you told me they moved, because when I was sitting there at the bar, I started wondering, maybe I've had a one too many drinks.
That's right.
It was like the whole room is
shaking.
shaking, and what am I doing? And then when you're getting to reception, there's another feature I wanted to talk about, and you pointed this out to me. I really hadn't, you come into a hotel, you check in, you're not really looking. You got an incredible art thing right behind. It's actually a kind of a exhibit or a piece based on the Williamsburg Bridge.
Right.
And talk about that and what it's made out of.
So it's our showpiece within the lobby. It is the Williamsburg Bridge at sunrise. And a couple things I love about it. One, it goes 180 degrees. So you're looking at it not only from the front wall, but it goes on the ceiling as well. And you really get the sense that you're underneath the bridge, like many of us are, But then Williamsburg is such a creative place. It's not good enough just to have this visual art piece. It's got to be, done in a unique way. So our friends at Rare Culture, who did the piece for us, made it all out of crayons. So you're looking at
That's amazing. You told me that. I was like, you were like, guess what it is? I guess pens. So it wasn't too far off, but it was crayons. So it looks amazing, and it really is kind of as you're staring underneath a bridge and looking up. It's an amazing piece.
Yeah, and now that you have the nano walls open in the lobby, and you can hear the bridge, and you can hear the traffic and the street noise, it gives you that sense of place that you can only have right here.
And you got a couple of sort of private suite areas where you can work or you can book that as well, which is something that other Moxies have as well, right?
Yeah, so we have our studio spaces that are very flexible spaces. Right now I'm using them for meetings. Both of them are rented out this morning. That's fantastic. But then when those meetings finish, we'll convert them and create lounge spaces with them. So it's an extension of the lobby at that point. It's a place where you can have a quiet cocktail and maybe extend a business meeting informally, or as somebody with 2 kids, you can go in there with your kids and let them terrorize their room and not bother the other guests.
And so you are family friendly. So that's like that. Now, I want to get to one of the final things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the club and the restaurant. The restaurant, I went, we were up here on the rooftop, and we're thinking, let's go get something to eat. Went downstairs, and I forgot to reserve a place, and I had no idea. It's only been open a couple of months, but it is a hot new restaurant. What is the restaurant again?
It's called Masiba.
Okay.
It is Israeli inspired cuisine, but more regional than that. So there's a lot of inspiration from our chef Eli, down there. We couldn't be more pleased with the restaurant.
You got a hot thing going. I mean, this is a destination restaurant now because it was really a wonderful food. And we talked to the general manager of the restaurant too, and it's great. He was a great guy, and the food was excellent. And also, you're talking about the decor because you said this kind of is supposed to remind you of Tel Aviv a little bit with the kind of modernistic architecture that you can find in Tel Aviv.
That's right. So Masiba,
Bauhaus style.
Yeah, the Bauhaus style. So we went through great lengths to give it that Bauhaus style architecture, from the curve and a lot of the interior details to the stucco that's used. And the name Masiba, it means party in Hebrew. So when you're in there, we want it to be a fun place where you got a beautiful soundtrack and you have friends that are sharing dishes and passing the food around.
Definitely shareable. It's all
shareable, where you go in and it's a good time and it's memorable. And every time you go in there, the experience is a little bit different, making you want to come back for more. It
is wonderful music. I definitely want to come back next time. I'm gonna make a reservation though, because because it was really. I mean, come on, it's a new restaurant. How good? But well, it is. They have discovered it. New York. They've discovered the places.
Absolutely.
Behind that, you have a little, as you said, a kind of a speakeasy club. And talk about what's that club?
It's a totally different experience than the rest of the hotel, and that's Jolene Sound Room. So it is our nightclub. It's on the first floor. It's a little bit of a speakeasy, but you get, if you know where to go, street access to it, so you don't have to go through the hotel. It's open Thursday through Saturday, opens at 10 p.m., and it really is an ode to acoustical quality and having a great music experience in there. It's a very intimate club, but
great sound system.
Unbelievable sound system. We really think it's the best in New York.
Well, we didn't get a chance to do that because we got here on Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have to come back. We'll come back and we'll have a drink and we'll go hear some music there.
That's it.
And it won't be Dolly Parton, but maybe we can make a special request.
You never know, but yeah, typically it's really high energy, a lot of dancing going on, along with a great cocktail scene.
There's dancing. A big dance floor there, great cocktail system. Maybe we can convince them to do Jolene in a kind of funk type avenue.
We'll
right?
get you in a little retro funk day. How about that?
Okay, so a great place. So really, you could spend you're in a wonderful neighborhood in Williamsburg. So much to explore. So obviously, you got to stay here for at least 2, maybe 3 nights, so you can explore Williamsburg. And because you need 1 night just to explore the hotel. To be
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think that's a great point right there, where 1 night you could stay in the hotel, have 3 or 4 different experiences, and meet a lot of really interesting people, have great food and cuisine, and then exploring the neighborhood the rest of the time. You never know what you're going to run across in Williamsburg. It's always a lot of fun.
A lot of great restaurants, and walking here, and it really is access from the subway. It's not too far by Uber. Now, is there anything else you want to tell? We go out to about 118,000 travel advisors out there. They're booking people in New York. What do you want to tell them about what they should say to their clients about how to best experience this hotel?
I think what this hotel is it's a great launching pad for a slightly different New York experience than what some people are used to. When you come to Williamsburg, you realize that there's just such depth to the city of New York, and it's such easy access to Manhattan, where you hit, your bucket list Manhattan, but then to have a quiet morning in Williamsburg where you explore the neighborhood, have some amazing cups of coffee, run across things that weren't on the list but are just happy surprises. That's some of the best parts of travel.
No, it absolutely is. So you explore the neighborhood, you see this fantastic hotel. Maybe book like Thursday through Sunday, make a reservation at the restaurant, make a reservation at the club, and then come up here to this incredible rooftop experience. And we're here just at the beginning of spring here, and it really is a beautiful, beautiful rooftop and rooftop bar. Well, congratulations, Mike. I know it's only been open for a few months now. Where can travel advisors go to learn more about the Moxie Williamsburg?
If you go to the Marriott site and look at Moxie Williamsburg, we'll have all the information there, and then all of our social media handles as well.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, again, thank you for your hospitality. I'm coming back, and we're going to hang out at the club, and we're going to come back. Maybe we'll have dinner at Miss Eva, because it really was good, and I only got about 3 dishes, and we'll be back. So great to see you, and again, so try this out for your clients, book it, and you'll be glad. You'll get a lot of people saying this is a fantastic, new, different way to see New York. And I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.